Hello, guys. My name is Noah Fitzgerald, and today I'm here to tell you guys about a very unique and special car. Today, I'm here to talk to you about the 2023 Bentley Bentayga Speed Edition 12. Now, let's break that name down piece by piece. It is a quite long name, so we'll just go ahead and break it down. Bentley Bentayga. That is going to be your Bentley SUV that has been on the game since 2016, competing in the luxury market, and has been doing so at a staggering rate. It is going up against not only the Rolls-Royce Cullinan, but also the Audi SQ7, in which it is heavily based off of. So that is the Bentayga part of the way. The speed. The speed is the trim that this Bentayga is based off of. It is meant to be the more performance-oriented trim with a standard twin turbo W12 motor. And of course, that Edition 12 is a commemorative version of this Bentayga Speed that commemorates the W12 engine, which is leaving us for 2024. I know it's a very sad thing, but the moving of a twin turbocharged 4-liter V8 is certainly a push that Bentley is driving and many other brands that renders this W12 obsolete. And with the times, you gotta change. However, there is one last hurrah for the Bentley W12, and that is in this Bentley Bentayga Edition 12 Speed. Now, the Edition 12 is not just for the Bentayga. They are offering Continental GTs and Flying Spurs as well as Bentaygas in this Edition 12 line. So don't think if you want an Edition 12 you have to buy a Bentayga. You can buy any of Bentley sports cars. However, you won't be able to get one because they are all already sold out as of the making of this video. Now, as for what's powering this Bentley Bentayga Speed Edition 12, now as the name suggests, it is the twin turbocharged 6-liter W12, and in this platform it is putting out 636 horsepower and 688 pound-feet of torque. Now, those are staggering numbers for any car, but for a luxury SUV, those numbers are absolutely profound. They're amazing. They're high. It's such a powerful vehicle, and I don't think people realize that until they genuinely do step back and take a look at how much power this motor is creating. And it's not so much about the power, it's the delivery of the power with this W12. It's smooth. You don't feel like it's punching you, and you don't feel like it's overstressed. It's doing its job, but it's doing it lightly. It's so understressed in that 636 horsepower and 688 pound-feet of torque. Especially that torque figure. It really just allows this vehicle to be smooth, but it also allows it to be insanely fast. Now, by that, what I mean is a 0 to 60 in 4.1 seconds. Now, of course, that is achieved through the 8-speed ZF automatic with all-wheel drive. But yes, a 0 to 60 of 4.1 seconds. Now, there are still sedans on the market today who don't even come close to that. There are sports cars on the market who don't even come close to that, and you're getting that in a Bentley SUV that weighs as much as a house. That is absolutely insane. Now, of course, that isn't on your way up to an unelectronically limited 180 miles an hour. Now, it is tied with two other vehicles for second place for fastest SUV, and that is the Durango Hellcat and the Escalade V. There's only one vehicle that beats both of those, and that is the Aston Martin DBX 707 with a top speed of 190 miles an hour, which has yet to be bested. Now, of course, you have to have a very good substance gluing you to the ground, in which I can confirm you do in the Bentayga. You have 285 section tires, in which you are running Pirelli P0 luxury tires. Now, this does differ from the regular Pirelli P0, which you get on a Kia Forte. They are luxurious tires, which means they have foam on the inside of them to insulate the noise. You don't get as much noise from these tires, but you do still get the same amount of insane grip from a pair of Pirelli P0s. Now, for performance, this Bentayga is absolutely a beast, and there is nothing rivaling it. You could look at, say, a Rolls-Royce Cullinan, which has 536 horsepower. If you want to go for the black label, you can get 600 horsepower. But it weighs significantly more than this Bentayga does, so it is nowhere near as fast, which it's a Rolls-Royce, so it's not really supposed to be. But it is a competitor to the Bentayga. And if you look at other competitors such as the Audi SQ7, that has a twin turbo V8 and it's just not as smooth as this W12. And if you're looking for top speed competitors, you could look at the Escalade V, which is leagues behind anything that the Bentayga offers. The Bentayga is simply on a upper echelon of luxury past the Escalade, which is the Escalade is an already nice vehicle, and to have something that's an echelon higher than that is absolutely outstanding. Then of course you have the Durango Hellcat, which if you're comparing a Durango Hellcat with a Bentley Bentayga, you obviously either have too much money or you know absolutely nothing about cars. So I think the Bentley Bentayga Speed Edition 12 kind of stands in a category of its own. It has the power, has the luxury, but does it have the looks? Now, as for the outside of this Bentley Bentayga Speed Edition 12, I can confirm that it does bring striking and exquisite looks. Now, if you're looking at that gnarly, standard, absolutely overly recognizable and lots of road presence from the front of this Bentley Bentayga, it is instantly recognizable. Of course, you have full LED headlights with LED crystal DRLs and LED turn signals. I would expect no less from a Bentley. Now, of course, you do get headlight washers and you do get decorative surrounds around those headlights. You, of course, do get the in-your-face, very prominent Bentley grille, and this one finished out in gloss black, as well as those headlight surrounds are also gloss black. You lower down to the bumper, and you do get some air intakes, all of which are finished in gloss black. That is a part of the Speed Edition 12 package. And if you look back at the whole entire Bentley, it is coated in it in this opalite green color, which is standard on every single Edition 12 model. It is standard on every Continental GT, every Flying Spur, and every Bentayga. You cannot get any other color besides this opalite green on the Edition 12s. And is a really nice, sort of deep, sort of milky green color. It's a very interesting color that you do not see on very many cars. It's sort of similar to Lunar Rock or Duck Egg Blue. So Lunar Rock from Toyota or Duck Egg Blue from Rolls-Royce is sort of what you're getting out of this opalite green. It is a very interesting color of green, and I happen to really, really like it. Now, once you move to the side, you start to see that this is very heavily based off of the Audi Q7. It doesn't suffer from the same disease that the X7 and the GLS suffer from, where it kind of looks incomplete at the back. This SUV looks very, very well designed. Now, of course, that is majorly to the Audi designers because they designed the shell of this SUV, but it does look very complete all the way through. If you're looking at our wheels, we, of course, are running gloss black, multi-spoke, 22-inch wheels, of course, still on those 285 section tires, running Pirelli P0 luxury tires. It is a very, very good-looking setup. Now, of course, the Bentley is a bit longer than the Q7. Of course, you can get an extended wheelbase Bentayga, but that is not in the Edition 12 Speed package. You cannot get an extended wheelbase in this because the extended wheelbases are 2024 models. Now, that doesn't mean that it's a bad-looking or short vehicle. You're not slacking in any sort of room on any part of any of it. Sorry, it seems we had a bit of a technical error there. However, I am back, and I believe we were talking about the side profile of the Bentley Bentayga Speed Edition 12. Now, I am happy to report again that it is a very nice length. It is not struggling for room anywhere, and you do get black window surround trim, so that adds a very sporty appeal to this Bentayga. You, of course, get Bentley's signature gorgeous body lines going over the rear haunches. You, of course, get good body styling at the front, too. Bentley always does a very good job with sharp body lines, making their vehicles look extra well. And for the price point, I would expect no less. Now, if you're moving to the back, you do get full LED taillights with LED turn signals and LED brake lights. However, they are a bit funky looking. Now, the Bentley used to have reverse Bs for taillights. However, with this generation of Bentayga, they're ovals, which is a very interesting design. I don't think it's a very tasteful design. I've never really liked the ovals in the back. It's never appealed to me. It's never really been an attractive taillight design, and I still think that to this day. But it is the choice nonetheless. You, of course, get black surrounds for those. And if we drop down to the bottom, we see matching oval exhaust, so the same shape as the taillights. And I think that's kind of a cool thing, that you match the taillights. It's sort of a recurring theme in this car. I like recurring themes in a car. It's little cheesy aspects, but whenever you're paying this much for a car, gimmicks and little cheesy things are what people want at this price point. So it's kind of cool that Bentley decided to add that. Now, of course, you do get Bentley spelled out on the back with the Bentley B, so that way everybody behind you knows exactly what you're driving. Now, I usually say that the rear is the most important important part of a car. However, with something that's this incredibly expensive, every single angle is the best part of it, is the most important part of this car. When you're paying upwards of $300,000 for a vehicle, every single angle of it has to be absolutely breathtaking and gorgeous. And that's something with the Bentley Bentayga that's sort of interesting. There are some angles that are better than others, which I think when you're paying this much for a car is the greatest. I think everything should be absolutely amazing. Like the Cullinan, whenever you're cashing out this much for a car, and that's something that the Bentley kind of lacks on. And it's really only the Bentayga, because every other Bentley model I don't have a problem with. There's just something about the shape of the Bentayga that it's never really caught my attention and grasped me and been like, yes, I love this. And that's a shame. That's not to say it's an absolutely bad car. The Bentayga is an absolutely pristine and almost flawless car. There are just a few things here and there that I don't personally like. I would rather have a Flying Spur or a Continental GT. But that's not to say that the Bentayga is bad. Like I said before, it is an absolutely exquisite car that anybody would be that they would be absolutely so enjoyed by, inside and out. And as for an exterior perspective, the Bentley Bentayga gets an A+ from me. Now, moving to the interior, which is another insanely important part of a vehicle at this price point, I can say that the Bentayga absolutely delivers. Coming standard with many features that Mercedes-Benz S-Classes couldn't even imagine of even giving, the Bentayga offers a strikingly premium interior with many materials up to the quality of Rolls-Royce, and nothing is plastic in here. The metal is real metal. It's real aluminum. The leather is real leather. It's insanely premium. It's not often that you find a car that the materials are actually what they look like. And that's something that is present in the Bentayga, and it is very, very needed because it's a $300,000+ car. I expect everything to be what it is. But it is nice to see. Of course, you are getting a infotainment screen like you do in almost every car nowadays. It is running Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, so you can stream all of the music and goodies that you could want to your Bentley Bentayga. Not something we can say about all of the Rolls-Royce range. So if you're looking at some models, you are getting a little bit of a premium feature. Like the Phantom. You can't get a touchscreen on the Phantom, but you can get a touchscreen. You have a touchscreen in the Bentayga, and that's something that certain buyers will cherish more than others, but I think it is a very valuable feature to have at this price point. Now, of course, you do get a digital gauge cluster, which is just completely configurable. Most car companies are moving towards this. It's just cheaper to make, and it is added. You can fully configure it through the steering wheel or through drive modes. You do also get a heads-up display, which all of these features, they should be standard. They should not be optional. And I'm very happy that the Bentayga has them, or else it would not be a very competent competitor in this segment whatsoever. But nonetheless, it is sporting these features. You do get a very Audi steering wheel because, well, Audi owns Bentley. But that's okay because it's a very ergonomic steering wheel. Bentley's been using this steering wheel for years now, and I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Now you get down to the center part, you do get your electronic shifter with the Bentley B on the top. You, of course, get all of your climate controls down there. You get dual zone climate controls, heated, ventilated, and massaging front chairs. And you do get drive modes. You can do off-road mode, Bentley mode, comfort mode, sport mode. Anything you could possibly want is in this vehicle. Now, of course, you do, in the rear, get optional heated and ventilated rear chairs. There is no third row in the Bentley Bentayga, but if you're spending this much, you're probably not wanting that anyway. If you wanted that, you'd go buy a GLS or an X7, or maybe a Maybach GLS, and then add rear third row seats to it. Don't know if you can do that, but I'm sure you can retrofit them in there somewhere. But nonetheless, it is an insanely premium interior. You have everything you could possibly want. Knurled metal finishing is a huge thing in Bentley's part. Every bit you can touch is almost all knurled metal, and it just feels so incredibly premium that you don't get on almost any other vehicle. Of course, panoramic sunroof. You do also get a Bentley name sound system, which isn't as good as Rolls-Royce audio, but it is still an insanely premium system. Everything about this, every touch point, every nice little thing is absolutely insanely nice. And that's something that I expect for Bentley. It's just kind of the golden standard now. If you buy a Bentley, you expect everything to be this premium. And I am happy to report that on the inside, the Bentley does deliver in this aspect. Okay, guys. Right here, we have the Bentley configurator. Now, of course, since this is a 2023 limited edition Bentley Bentayga, I am no longer able to show you the actual edition 12. However, I do have a Bentley Bentayga S here, so I'm willing to show you most of the features that you are able to get on the Bentley Bentayga Speed without actually showing you it. So, without further ado, of course, ignore this. This is not what your Bentley would look like. That interior is what you could possibly. So let's go ahead and build Bentayga S, which really should be Bentayga Speed Edition 12. So let's go ahead and add that. None of these facts matter. None of these matter. None of the 542, no. None of that. None of that. Now, of course, Bentley does option several packages, so that way it's easier for you to configure your Bentley. So, of course, you have the Eminence package, which is sort of a smoky blue-gray with these fancy wheels. You can go over and have Winter Light, which is a very black and white design. And then Alpine Rush, which is a dark green color that I happen to really like. This solarized color, which is really, really deep blue, really nice. And if we go down here, we can go to Hand of Drive, which it allows you to pick left or right-hand drive. Of course, we're going to pick left-hand drive because we're here in the States. Now, paints. Paints is something I will not go into very much because there are so many. You can configure in all of these paint colors. Now, my favorite is probably this deep Viridian color, but I don't think I can quite find that opalite green. That was an exclusive color. Now, of course, you get all of these colors with the oranges and browns, reds and purples. Any color under the sun, Bentley will curate for you. Silvers, whites and beiges, duotones. Now, that's just absolutely extraordinary. I just happen to really like this paint, so we're going to go with it. Wheels. Now, of course, you can get these amazing wheels, these 22s, or you can go for these. That doesn't really matter. None of this really matters until we get to the interior, which is right now. So this is going to be what the inside of your Bentayga looks like. You can, of course, split it like this. Color split it like this with a leather specification package, which looks very, very nice. Split it one tone. Only on the door panels, I think you'll see this. Oh, no, it's only contrast stitching. Oh, I apologize. Oh, yes, very boring. We're going to go with what Bentley suggests. That is this color split, which I happen to like quite a lot. So we're going to go main hide. You can go for all of these colors. You can, of course, go for this color. You can get this view. Let's try to go for the dash view. That's kind of what we really want to see. And it's not going to give us one. There's our dash view. Of course, you can see all of these features, all of these colors. That's for secondary. Here's main one. Very, very detailed. You can, of course, get different colors of different. Let's go ahead and put the carbon fiber, or we can go ahead and put this brushed aluminum, which I happen to really, really like in this Bentayga. Bentley does a nice brushed aluminum. Now, of course, you can do all of these options: metal overlay to veneer, picnic tables, all of that. Now, of course, interior details, 5-seat comfort specification, which basically gets rid of your captain's chairs, front seat comfort specification, all of these things. Stitching and piping, you can give yourself different colors of stitching. Embroidery, you can embroider different things in your seats. Steering wheel, you can duotone a steering wheel, which I will do right now. As you can see, it's going to duotone our steering wheel, which looks very, very nice. Contrast gear lever. Of course, that gives you a different color gear lever and a different color bottom spoke of our wheel. Looks very premium. Optional equipment, leather specification, smoker specification, precision diamond quilt specification, which I am going to option because I am a sucker for quilting. Let's see if it'll ever load for us here. Yes, you can see all of this diamond stitching. Mulliner color specification. Oh, conflict could not be resolved. That's so very Bentley. All-terrain specification, which I guess we will add. It off-roads your Bentley a little bit more, I guess. A little bit more options there. It's going to take a while for it to add to this vehicle. Let's see if it'll ever load for us. Perhaps it won't. Maybe we're just out of luck. We shall see. Okay. Let's go ahead and keep going. Bentley Bentayga styling specification, which gives you that spoiler, of course. Vehicle dynamics. Carbon ceramic brakes are an option on the Bentayga. Of course, you get all of these amazing options, which I would expect no less for the Bentley Bentayga. LED mood lighting, all of this valet key. Now, of course, Bang & Olufsen, there's your name audio system. Now, of course, because Bentley does not offer any sort of pricing specifications, I will just tell you that the Bentayga Speed Edition 12 starts at $325,000. So if you're thinking about buying one, be sure you're ready to shell out that pretty penny. Overall, I think the 2023 Bentley Bentayga Speed Edition 12 is an absolutely amazing call out to the Bentley W12, and I think it's a great hoorah. Now, the Bentley Bentayga is an amazing vehicle, and I'm glad they decided to do the last iteration of the Speed Edition 12 for this vehicle. And it is so very sad to see this engine go, but the Bentayga is such a nice premium vehicle, and it is a great last little punch. Now, I would like to know, would you guys want to buy one of these over a, say, Rolls-Royce Cullinan Black Badge? That's for you guys to decide. However, my name is Noah Fitzgerald. Thank you guys for watching. Remember, enjoy the drive, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye for now.